So good morning, everyone, from Atharva Institute of Management Studies, and I welcome you all to IT Talks, an IT awareness program powered by IQAC. IQAC is an internal quality assurance cell. Through this, we have arranged this IT awareness program with students, and the facility of IT department tries to reach out everyone with the institute as well as outside institute, where we can discuss the general topics related to IT and tries to clear out the all the doubts. My name is Pranav Kamble, and I am one of the students of Atharva Institute of Management Studies in Systems IT department. After successful completion of introduction of first episode, we have excited to introduce the IT Talk episode 2. In this, we will try to make the experience enjoyable and informative to all. It's my honor to introduce the Professor Vikas Pratik Pareek sir, as it's to be honored to be a part of this show where I am the host and I will talk with our guest of IT Talk Show episode 2, Professor Vikas sir, who is the youngest dean of institutes. Currently, Professor Vikas sir is the dean of School of Computational Science and ICT and coordinator coordinator Center for Cyber Security at Mahatma Gandhi Center University, Bihar. He earlier served as the founding head of the Department of CS and IT and the chief proctor of the university. He is also serving as an officer on the special duty of finance. He is teaching, research, and administrative experience. Uh, his primary research interacts including the cyber security, mobile computing, e-learning. He is also member of the Cryptology Research Society of the India and the professional member of ACM and ISACA. He has served on the TPC and the editorial board of numerous conferences and the general. He has the experience of the supervising PhD scholars and the software development projects. Prior to joining the MGCU, he served at Banastari Vidyapith for more than the decade. He was the recipient of the Best Student Award and National Scholarship during the school days. So let's begin with the today's topic: cyber crime against the woman, issue and countermeasures. So I would like to start with the first question. So what is the exactly cyber crime as per the Indian law?
Thank you, Pranav, for inviting me for this lecture and talk show. As your question is, what is cyber crime as per Indian law? Is a very generic question in nature. In Indian law, we have the Information Technology Act 2000, the IT Act 2000, which gives, you know, which mentions the penalties on different types of crimes which are listed as cybercrime. Well, cybercrime is any crime which is committed in cyberspace, so as to say, which is related to computers, computer networks, and all the related uses. We every day hear about such crimes, which are in Sushant Singh Rajput murder case. We came to know about a lot of things happening about retrieving WhatsApp chats and all. So we hear about that. For example, phishing, hijacking identity, or morphing photographs of people. There are many different types of cyber crimes which we will discuss about later. Yeah.
So can you brief about the what is the exactly cyber crime?
Yeah, cyber crime, as I mentioned, is a crime which is performed in the cyberspace, which is related to computers. Yeah, that is the cyber. Yeah.
And can you brief about the what is the legal framework in India to deal with the with this menace?
Yes, yes. The legal framework that is there in India related to cybercrime starts with, there were provisions earlier also, but it all started with introduction of the Information Technology Act 2000 by the then Information and Communications Minister Sri Pramod Mahajanji. And in 2000, this IT Act was passed, and later on in 2008 it was amended also. So Information Technology Act 2000, has the different sections which prescribe the various penalties for doing cyber crime. For example, there is 66C, 66A, which is now repealed. There is 66B. So different penalties, for example, for blackmailing through cyber media, or, for example, posting obscene messages or images, or hacking or changing passwords or getting unauthorized access. So this is the legal framework. There are penalties also there in the IPC, in the, what you say, Indian Penal Code, for different such crimes. But whenever there is a penalty that is prescribed in the IT Act 2000, that will prevail, because there are instances which have been pointed out by legal experts that different penalties are prescribed by the IPC and the IT Act 2000. So it has been opined that the penalty that is prescribed in the IPC will not prevail, but that in the IT Act 2000. Similarly, there is Indian Evidence Act 1872, because when you go on investigating a cybercrime and when it comes to prosecution, evidence and what you call it, digital evidence is important, because courts decide everything on the basis of evidence. So there is this Evidence Act also, and their digital evidence is defined, which can be anything in digital medium. For example, it can be a pen drive, it can be screenshot of some, say, WhatsApp chat, which has been in news recently. So any such thing can be there, which can be a network log, something like that. So digital evidence is there, and IT Act, not only prescribes the penalties for different cyber crimes, but IT Act also, provides a mechanism, the framework, for example, the different authorities to which you can, lodge your report, and different agencies which have to deal with the issue of cybercrime. So this is, clearly spelled out there in IT Act 2000.
Ye-
Yes.
yes, sir. As you sir mentioned, there is the digital evidence is there. So, can we create the digital evidence?
Sorry, I didn't get
Yeah,
your question.
there is a community uh, who creates a digital evidence. Like they can Photoshop the chat and like that. So, is that very easy to create the digital evidence and
Yeah.
use the people?
There are ways of getting digital evidence. In fact, law also prescribes how to preserve and how to present the digital evidence. There is a discipline which is known as digital forensics or cyber forensics. In that discipline, there are different technologies, tools, ways, procedures how to collect a digital evidence, because that is the first thing when any cyber crime is reported and when any investigation in that starts, then evidence is to be collected, and that is the digital evidence. For example, suppose it is reported that some kind of hacking was done,
Hmm.
or some server was hacked. So, or maybe, it is reported that some person, some network administrator was, unauthorizedly, getting access to something, and who committed some cyber crime.
Yes.
So in that case, what happens is, you will have to collect the digital evidence. So digital evidence, there are certain rules also. Court prescribes that the digital evidence should not be tampered with. It should be collected as it is, without, otherwise it is not admissible before court of law. It is, mentioned in the Indian Evidence Act. So there are different ways. For example, suppose you are taking a hard disk as an evidence. So you have to keep it in special bags like Faraday bags, which keep it insulated from outside electromagnetic interference. You have to take logs. You have to take what you call the hash of the, using some kind of hashing method. You have to take, or message digest. You have to calculate the hash of that, so that if any tampering happens with the, say, data that you have, covered, it can be later on checked. So digital evidence is collected in that way, and then it is presented. For example, if you snatch mobile from a cyber criminal, so then you will switch off the mobile, you take out the SIM, you will take out the battery, you will seal it in a proper bag, and so that when it is produced in the court. Plus, one very important thing is what you call imaging in cyber forensics terminology. That is, you have to create an exact replica, because for your analysis and reporting part, you will have to, for example, suppose you say that this person was involved in some terrorist activity and was sending messages to some enemy country and something like that, and suppose you recover a hard disk from that person, you seize a hard disk, and that hard disk can be having data in gigabytes or maybe terabytes sometimes, and you are looking for a certain chat, because you have to establish in court of law that this chat was there, because how do you prove that that person actually sent the message?
Yes, yes,
So in that way, you will be checking call logs, chat logs, etc. So searching you have to perform, but on the other hand, you have to keep the evidence untempered. So what you do is, rather than searching in the exact evidence, what you do is, you first, you when you seize evidence, you create a replica, and whatever analysis or testing you have to do, you will do only on that replica. Okay, and you will keep the original thing intact, so that accidentally it is not damaged also. This is the thing. There are certain other precautions you have to take when you collect evidence and when you preserve it and when you present in the court of law. Yes.
yes, sir. Sir, in many cases, so we have seen that there is a forwarded message many times. So can we, if there is some message related to some related to the privacy, and it is just breaking the rules of that. So can we find the origin of that message?
Yes, yes. The good thing about cyber crime and actually, the computers is that everything is traceable there. Every criminal, they say that, leaves some kind of footprint. And in cyberspace, the criminal leaves, what you say, the digital footprint. Even if people mask their IP addresses or they try to, anonymize themselves, there are ways to locate and trace the perpetrator of a cybercrime. There are ways. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. And I would like to thank sir to choosing this topic cybercrime against the woman. So I would, sir, can you tell me the why you choose this particular topic like cybercrime against the woman? Is there any reason behind this?
Yes, yes, there is very well a reason behind this, because there are different types of cyber crimes, and NCRB, the National Crime Record Bureau, they give report about the number of cyber crimes happened in different categories and as per different sections of ITAC. You will see that the many of a major chunk of that pertains to cyber crime related to women and children. And government of India is also very sensitive about cyber crimes which happen against women and children. This is a very important priority area. In fact, Pranav, we have a new center of cyber security in our university, which was recently inaugurated by Ministry of IT officials. And one of the priority areas of our Center for Cyber Security is also cyber crime against women, because we need a lot of awareness to protect, our, females, the little children from such cyber criminals. You will see that there are cases of, blackmailing, extortion, exploitation, which happen in cyberspace. So I thought that because in general there is some awareness about the general cyber crimes of hacking, phishing, and such spams and all. But we need a little more awareness about cyber crimes, especially against women. That is why I chose this topic.
Yes, sir. So I also read one article in Times of India that there is the 70% chance that there is the in during the cybercrime the woman is the victim out of hundreds there 70 times the woman is the victim. So um can be is like woman is the more targeting person to deal with the cybercrime.
Yeah, you are right in that sense that women are victims in most such cases because they are more vulnerable. We have such a society where we have little education if compared to male counterparts. A little awareness. Although things are improving a lot, but women are more vulnerable, and more so when young women, the girls, they are more vulnerable to such attacks because sometimes they are not tech savvy. If you look at the data, the tech savviness of or maybe IT awareness of women compared to men, you will find that they know less about such things. That is why it is easy for them. So sometimes many cyber criminals make them targets in the cyberspace.
Okay, sir. And what are the most prevalent cyber crimes against the woman in the cyberspace?
In cyberspace, cyber stalking is one thing which is very common. That is, following or trying to influence a woman in the cyberspace. For example, there are people who follow on social media and on other platforms and a particular woman, and try to get friendly with them. That is this thing. Similarly, there are other things also. For example, there are, one very common thing is what you say, identity hijacking, in which what happens is that people make fake profiles, social media profiles of women, so as to malign them or to take some kind of revenge. Similarly, there is what you can say, online blackmailing is also there. That people get friendly with women, and then when they are friends, they take photographs or maybe some video, and then they try to blackmail using that. That is also common. Plus, there are what do you say, online bullying is also there. Many women, especially feminist women, when they post something which is which some people don't like, then they try to do witch hunting and try to malign the image of women. This also happens very commonly.
Okay, sir. So we saw that there is so many cases like there is the hidden camera or hidden 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 mirror glass behind that the camera is there in the woman's changing room or changing room in the sense. So that comes under the cyber crime.
No, that is not a cyber crime. If there is a changing room, if there is a mirror, that is not a cyber crime because there is nothing of a computer. Yeah, but if there is a CCTV involved, or if there is any network, if there is any kind of monitoring, it is getting recorded, then it can be booked under a cyber crime. Otherwise, it will be booked as some other, under other provision of the Indian Penal Code. Yeah. But this is also very common. Voyeurism, what you in cyber terminology, this is known as voyeurism. There are people who want to peep into lives of others, especially women, in their changing rooms, in their where they are staying in hotels and all. This is hidden spy cams are also there. So there are people of that kind of mentality also. That is also one of the cyber crimes if it is done using computers and networks. Yeah.
Yeah. The in last week, sir, the shopping website Myntra had changed their logo to a different logo. Like similar logo they have changed. So, what's your views on the recent controversy on Myntra logo?
Well, the Mumbai police booked this case under the cybercrime law, and ultimately the Mintra company was, had to, change the logo slightly. They have changed the design, and it was, lodged. The complaint was lodged by some woman activist on this. Well, my views on this Mintra controversy is, somewhat I am confused because we don't know the motive of the logo designer. Because, they say that there is a Rorschach test in psychology where you are shown ink blots, and people imagine different, there is this thematic appreciation test they use in army recruitments and all. You are shown some pictures, and then you have to imagine some kind of story and you have to describe it. These logos have different symbolisms in that. Sometimes the designer may have certain, if a designer has some perverted mind. Mintra logo was seen by some people, and especially ladies, as
Yes.
defamatory or insulting to women. So okay, if it is changed, but then on Twitter you might have seen that many people came with many different, logos of many different companies, and they try to interpret symbolism of those different logos in different, maybe they were perceived as erotic or objectionable. So I say, okay, the matter of the fact is that this case was booked under cyber law, but it is actually related to the design thing, and that is subjective thing. Some may perceive it as objectionable, some may not perceive it as objectionable. Depends.
Yes, sir. But sir, according to me, so that will be the angle of looking at anything. So it differ from person to person. So
Yes, yes.
how so why the Myntra take the action against this FIR? They can say,
Actually,
they can
yeah.
explain that no, it's your angle. So in other angle, we have not intention of to do that. So why they they are not doing that? They just change the logo.
Yeah, we are not sure about the intentions of the designers of the company per se. But yeah, one thing is there that the companies, like other people, they want to stay away from controversy because ultimately it is the people who are their customers. So why do they will fuel any controversy? If there is a controversy and if it is okay, if just by changing the logo, if people are pacified, then it's okay. I don't think that there is a big deal in this thing. If somebody points that this particular design or graphics or something is objectionable to a section of people, their sentiments may be respected. That is not a big deal. But on the other hand, there is another issue which some people raise, that there is something known as creative freedom, because
Yes,
people design, an artist wants to have some kind of artistic freedom. Then if people start perceiving objectionable, then sentiments of the people may be hurt by slightest of creativity.
yes,
uh,
sir. Yes,
there are many things in this. Yeah.
yes, sir. So we seen that there is a cyber attack on women's laptops, and the webcam is hacked, and the hacker is spying through the webcam. So is there any tips related to that to prevent that?
Yeah, to prevent that, as far as possible, when you are not using your webcam, you should keep it covered. That is one thing you can do, because you don't know if there are some hidden applications which are running, in the background. Suppose you have some such malware, you are not aware of that, and you have your laptop in the on mode, webcam is open, and suppose you are changing or you are doing something, and you don't know, without your knowledge you are getting video recorded, so that can be problematic. You should have good antiviruses, you should have software which can detect presence of such malware. But on the other hand, you should try to stay away from chatting or going live with unknown people or strangers or people you don't trust, as far as possible. Plus you should keep your cameras covered as far as possible. And you should be very careful when you install applications, what kind of permissions those applications are requesting. Because many such because I am also working on security of Android applications, and I have noticed that one easy way of looking at the security of apps is that what kind of permissions they are asking for. For example, suppose you are downloading some app from the Play Store, and this application obviously does not need any access to camera, and it is requesting access to camera. There can be some kind of malicious intent behind that. You should be aware of that.
Yes, sir. Totally agree with you, sir. Yes, sir. So what should women do to keep themselves safe from this cybercrime?
As I told you, you should be careful. You should be careful in the you install only reliable applications from Google Play Store or from any such maybe Apple Play Store, from any Play Store or from the application store. Plus, you what you call safe browsing. There are certain habits that you should develop that especially when you are and now it is not that common, but earlier what used to be that many girls and many people usually used internet from cyber cafe. And cyber cafe owners sometimes had some hidden cameras and some kind of malwares installed on the computers and had such settings which make you vulnerable. So you should be careful. That is the thing that you should keep in mind when you are using your computer or mobile phone.
Okay, sir, and what are the according to you, what will be the government's role to prevent this the cyber crime?
Government of India is very, very, you can say conscious of the fact that there are cyber crimes happening against it. They have established special cells to tackle this thing. They have the advisories have been issued by the CERTIN, the Computer Emergency Response Team of India, which is now renamed as ICRT. Advisories and guidelines have been issued for special cyber security of women and children, and special guidelines have been developed, special projects are being devised, guidelines are there. But I think it is the awareness of the general public that will be more helpful, because government is trying its best, police is trying its best, but when crime happens, you can take certain action, but prevention should be our first line of defense. We should try to prevent cybercrime for women as far as possible. For that purpose, as males, what we should do is, because there are women around in our life also, our wife, maybe sister, mother, we have girls around us, maybe our fellow students or maybe teachers, or there are many women around us in the society. We should try to educate them. We should try to give them tips about how to stay safe, about what are the privacy, what are the habits that you should develop while using social media or using computers in general. What are the different settings of privacy and security? Some women are not aware of that. For example, you might have heard about that profile guard feature is there in the
Yes.
Facebook. Although that is not very useful, but still there is this. One thing I have noticed,
Yes,
Pranav,
sir.
that many criminals, what they do is they just go to profiles of social media profiles of women and download the profile pictures or the other photographs from there, and then they make fake accounts in their name, and then they send friend requests to known people of that woman, and then they try to do some kind of blackmailing, or many dirty things happen there. So as far as possible, women and children, any person, not women in particular, we should try to not to post regular feeds about ourselves, about our locations, what we are doing, where we are traveling, because it can pose challenges to security of women. For example, one woman posted, say for example, posted that okay, I boarded at this airport and now I am moving to this thing. So you are exposing yourself. People know about your whereabouts, and then they stalking and such things may happen. So you should not be very particular about posting your everyday details about where you are, where are your children, or if you go to drop your child in the school, and general awareness should be there about this.
Yeah. In comment section, we have received one question from Shabina ma'am. The question is, sir, how high security government sites are also hacked?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Can
Uh,
you please repeat the question?
yeah. There is a government sites having the highest security, but we have seen that they got hacked by hacker. So how is this possible?
Yeah, this is a very, very, very nice
Yes.
question. In security, we have a rule that 100% security is an illusion. Pentagon, the American, headquarters of American defense was attacked, which is one of the most secure places. Even the president of the United States, JFK, was assassinated. Indian Parliament was attacked. So nothing is 100% safe. Government websites are also secure, but sometimes hackers they have good programming skills. They are very intelligent people. So it is not impossible to attack sites. Well, this happens. This happens not only with the websites of Indian government, but it happens with websites of all the governments. There are you can say there are agencies, there are people, there are organized terrorist groups which are continuously attacking government websites and all that. That keeps happening. That is not a big deal. We also have a provision of what you say recovery or response when such attack happens. That is very important.
Yes, sir. We have seen that the Facebook have the very good things about the, and they are very suggestive about the security about this profile. So in recently, uh, about within last 2 months, I think. So there is the Pakistani uh, Pakistani meeting, government meeting was there, and some Indian people have hacked that and play some songs about the India. So so it is easy to hack the anything.
No, it is not that easy, Pranav.
Yes.
It is not that because you need sophisticated, attacks, tools, programming, many things you require, and it is not normally not an effort of a single individual. There are organized people behind that. There are even intelligence agencies which are, doing such things. I must say that it is not easy for common people for hacking. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So there is the uh, policy government policy. So what your suggestion to policymakers for making the cyber system better, safer from for women?
Yeah, I have a suggestion that for policy makers, because I am myself a part of such policy making in academics and in other places also. I have a suggestion that although technological interventions are there, legal framework is also there in place and getting updated. That is one thing. But we should have some massive awareness campaign run on regular basis for educating common women. Women say from because nowadays, even in rural areas, women and girls are using mobile phones and social media. We are talking about digital India. Everybody is there in the digital thing, and this thing will keep increasing. So we must have campaigns at massive level to educate women about the dangers lurking in the cyberspace and how they can stay safe. How they can stay safe. In fact, Pranav, people are not aware of the mechanism that when some such thing happens, people don't know how to deal with that. In fact, when I was taking one day, I was taking class, and my mother telephoned me that she was, her account was hacked, and somebody called her, and through phishing, some OTP was accessed, and some money was stolen from her account. In fact, I keep talking to my mother, kept talking about such things, but still it happens. It is very commonplace. Sometimes things are reported, sometimes not reported. But most of the women are not aware how to lodge a cyber crime report. Many people don't know that whether they should go to the police station or what to do. So for them, I have a message that there are many different ways, but the easiest way for lodging such, uh, you know, such kind of complaint is just to go to the cybercrime portal of the government of India, cybercrime.gov.in, and there you register and you can lodge a complaint. Even anonymous complaints can be lodged there, so you need not worry about that. And they have a separate section on crime against women and children. They have a separate section of that. So you just go to cybercrime.gov.in, just go to crime against women and children, go there, report. You do need not bother about your locality, your police station, or whatever, or where the crime happened. You need not bother what sections of ITAC will be applicable or IPC will be applicable. You need not bother. You just give the details as much you can provide. You give your mobile number for this thing, and they have a they have a what you can say, they have a portal where you can regularly watch the progress of your and they are very active. In fact, in your Mumbai police is having a special cell on cybercrime and is one of the most active cybercrime cells in India. That is that. And when you lodge a report on cybercrime.gov.in portal, they will move it to whichever police station or whichever court they have to move it, and they'll keep you updated on what happened, and they take swift action. I am aware of certain such instances, so that is one way there is
Yes,
such
thank you
things.
for this valuable information. So we I heard that so there is so many cyber threatening from the public Wi-Fi. Like there is now government is installing public Wi-Fi on the railway platform, bus station, park, or anything government side, government office. So is there any risk associated with the public Wi-Fi?
Yeah, there are issues with public Wi-Fi because with less security and there are you should, as far as possible you should not use them, and you should avoid using them. But there is no big risk if you are just browsing and you are using internet. There is no risk. There are some other risks if you leave details about yourself, and when you log in, if you provide the information about yourself, that can be misused.
Okay. Okay, sir. In recent time, I have heard the case that there is some two three male candidates of our army. They got some response from a girl from other countries, and then they start blackmailing to get the inner information of the Indian military. So, what you what you are or looking what you are saying about that? How do
This happens. This is known as social engineering attack. This is very common. Sextortion is also there because people have their weaknesses, and sometimes what happens is they get friendly with people without knowing about their whereabouts, about who they are, what their motives are. It happens with people, and many intelligent people even fall in this what you call honey trap.
yes,
There
yes.
are special women employed for this purpose. That they get in touch with influential people from military, from media, from different walks of life, and then they try to get friends with them, and even maybe they physically they connect them with them, and or maybe through social media. What they do is sometimes for some kind of exposure or for some kind of friendliness, they try to get secrets from their people. So it instances have come. That is why the government and the military they have put certain restrictions on the uses of mobile phones and on social media. There are different guidelines there. There are different cybersecurity policies of different government organizations there. So a little bit awareness is also needed in that direction.
Yes, sir. We will call it off for a day, but only last question. So, how what will be the first and first action if we get the cyberbullying or cyber uh, anything related to cyber?
If anything happens, just don't keep silent, report it. Tell
Yes,
about it to your brother, your sister, or your somebody else. And if possible, just go to the cybercrime portal that I mentioned, lodge a report. Because when you keep silent, such things increase.
yes,
When things are getting reported and action taken, then only such things will not be there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I totally agree with you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have discussed the cyber crime against the woman issue and countermeasures. With that, I would like to thank you, Professor Vikas, sir, for giving us the valuable time and attending this discussion. So, I would like to thank you with my core of my heart, Sunil Rane, sir, Executive President, Atharva Group of Institute, Dr. R.J. Ratnam, the Director at Institute of Management Studies, and Dr. Bilal Agarwal, ma'am, Chief Coordinator of IQAC, Atharva Institute of Management Studies, for the guiding us and avail the chance to introduce IT Talk Show. Thank you for joining us and stay tuned for IT Talk Episode 3. Thank you. Thank you.
And Pranav, I would also like to thank people. I would
Yes,
like to thank Sri Sunil Raneji, Executive President, Atharva Group of Institutes, Dr. R.G. Ratnawat, Director AIMS, and my very talented research scholar and my former student, Dr. Shubhilal Agrawal, who is Chief Coordinator of IQAC at AIMS. And in the end, I would like to thank Pranav. You have such a pleasing personality and for your patience because it got delayed by half an hour. Thank you so much. Thank you.
okay, thank you, sir.